I am here with David Cook, Policy Manager for Alzheimer's Association. And David, it has been an exciting couple of months with the House Bill 1434 going before the House and then the Senate, and now it is signed into law by the governor. What I have a vested interest, as my mother is in the middle stages of Alzheimer's. What can I expect now? What are the practical applications of this committee being formed?
Well, Theba, it's great to be with you this morning again, as always. And this was a very significant bill, as you know, here that moved pretty quick through the General Assembly with unanimous support on both sides, the House and the Senate. Here in the next couple months, according to the statute, the Secretary of Health has to make appointments within 60 days of the bill being signed. And so we expect the council to be appointed within the next 2 months, and then they will start their work. This is very exciting for families like yours who have been impacted by Alzheimer's, because it shows a signal of hope from the state that we are going to begin prioritizing our response to Alzheimer's. And what this council does is it establishes a collaborative approach to not only identifying some of the gaps in services, maybe some of the areas we need to improve on in the state, but it also helps us to develop strategies with inclusive information from our partners who work in long-term care and different parts of the state, to help us understand, their world from their perspective, and how do we improve care, and how do we come together and develop a strategy to better address Alzheimer's and dementia. And so this council does not have an expiration date, but neither does Alzheimer's. So it's going to continue to work. And what's so exciting about this council and this being codified into law is that it also provides a mechanism that requires the state to update an Alzheimer's state plan every 4 years. But there's also language in the bill that requires the state to implement the state plan as well. And so they'll come together and develop a strategy, develop a state plan, and also work together collaboratively to implement pieces of that plan.
It sounds also wonderful because for many of us, and so many before even me, have been in this fight, feeling extremely alone and hopeless. And one of the areas that you and I have talked about before that I know is probably on the list for many people who have to stop everything, quit everything, resign from their job to be a full-time caretaker. What is the hope there for full-time family caretakers?
Theba, that's a great question. One of the areas that we anticipate the council will focus on is how do we support our family caregivers? Family caregivers play a critical role in the delivery of healthcare, especially for patients with dementia and Alzheimer's. And so we need to look at how we can improve our support of family caregivers, whether it's funding respite care, investing in more support services for family caregivers. But for us to develop those strategies, we want to hear from you as well. We want to know what your challenges are. What is going to be the most helpful for you? And so there's a dedicated spot on the council for a family caregiver as well, so that we can learn from their perspectives, but other caregivers will also inform the work as we go along. But I think that's one of the critical areas we need to examine as a council, is how do we provide more support for our caregivers who are facing challenges that certainly COVID has only amplified.
And so, I'm excited because you and I will have opportunities to continue as the
Yes, ma'am.
council comes into working order. And then as they move forward with these different tasks, we will visit about those. I always like to end with telling everyone that the Alzheimer's Association has a hotline, a helpline that's 24/7. So please put that down. The other thing I want to end with is, since I've met you and your team, I've been on the Facebook page often. Alzheimer's Association, I think it's Arkansas chapter. So make sure you see that Arkansas chapter. And you guys are very busy on that page. There are classes, online classes. There is so much information on there. And I want everyone who is on this journey to please go on that Facebook page. They are constantly putting information up daily. And once again, you're not going to feel alone. You're going to feel like you have a team, and that's what they want to be, is a team for those of us who are on this journey. Thank you again, David. We will continue this discussion, as Alzheimer's is not going to end anytime soon. So thank you to you and your team for continuing our partnership here on the Vine.
Well, Theba, I will add that families like yours are exactly why we do this work. And it's what drives us. As you know, I've been impacted by the disease myself, but we work every day for you. That's why we're here.
Thank you. I have some really neat, new, good friends. I tell you that.
Well, we're glad to be here and play such a role here at the show. So thank you so much for having us.